Hi guys, it's Michael. I'm here to talk to you guys about some DSI prep. I'll tell you guys some advice that I took away from this competition. I'm really sorry that I couldn't be there today. I have a class that I can't miss, and yeah, I just could not make it out to collegiate today. Hopefully this video will help you guys prepare for, I think, this Saturday's competition. I wish you guys all luck, and let's get right into the video. Disclaimer, I do have a dog, so you might hear it in the background. So, all right guys, so I am going to begin with basically like the program. So I'm sure you guys have received or will receive an email explaining to you what will happen when you get there. So for me at least, it was on Saturday, it was on the 19th last year. We checked in at 7:15. I would recommend you get there around 7 because you don't want to feel rushed or just you want to feel like you're comfortable there. So check-in starts at 7:15. The actual welcome ceremony starts at 8 a.m. Again, you want to get there early so you don't feel like you're in a rush or you're under pressure. Ultimately, the competition will end around 12. Okay, so one thing I want to touch upon is how you dress. So in the email they either sent out or will send out, they said to wear business casual. To a lot of people, that's a little confusing. So for girls, I think dresses with a blouse would be great. For guys, just like a dress shirt would be great. So I've seen some people actually went a little bit farther and wore like jackets. So for girls, just look nice basically, and same for guys. Make sure you do your hair in the morning, shower, do all the stuff you need to do. Wake up a little bit earlier so you have time for all that stuff. Because I did see some people in that competition that did not really look that great. And so I would highly recommend you basically dress to impress. The people that are going to be on the boards of each of the activities are going to be looking at you, and based off what you're wearing, they might make a decision about you. So I would highly, highly recommend that all of you guys take the time to plan out what you're wearing, so you don't have to wake up in the morning and have like 20 minutes to get ready. So highly, highly, highly recommend dressing up, dressing to impress, because that's just kind of like a soft skill that you can have, is just to basically present yourself to these judges. So during this competition, there were two types of activities. For some people, they're going to be flipped. So I started off with, depending on what session you're going to, because I think there's a morning session or like an afternoon session. So for me at least, my first thing I did was the group activities, or no, the interview stage. I did the interviews first. Basically, what this interview looked like was you were put into a room in the RSC, the Radigan Student Center. You were put into one of these rooms with about 10 to 12 other people. Everyone had their little name tag with them, so you can meet everyone. I would highly recommend that you be the first ones to go out and introduce yourselves to your peers. There's going to be a bunch of students your age there. Highly recommend you go out and introduce yourself to them. It really shows that you're confident, basically, and the judges will already be there. Even if they're not there, it's just great to be acquainted with who you're going to be talking to with or speaking with, engaging in conversations with. So again, the interview stage, there's going to be 3 judges, I think 2 or 3 judges. Yeah. So they're going to be the ones that have the questions that they're going to be asking. And how this works is that there's like a couple rounds. I believe we had 3 rounds of questionings. The first round of questions was more to get to know us. So it was basic, just what are your hobbies? What's your favorite book and why? I would highly recommend that you prepare a few answers for what is your favorite book and why? What are your hobbies? What are your leadership experiences? That was a really important topic. A life story that got you to where you are today. Again, hobbies, your high school transcript. So really know your resume and your transcript and your activities that you're involved with. Basically, just know yourself for all 3 rounds of questioning, because you don't want to be put on the spot without an answer that you know. It's really important for you to give these answers with more personality. Shows the judges who you are as a person. However, in my opinion, you want to have some sort of formality when answering these questions, although it sounds a little bit uh, it sounds a little bit forced. I thought it sounded forced when I heard other people do it, but there was one person in my room that actually won the Gore scholarship, the DSI, and their answers were really formal. So I would highly recommend that you basically restate the question that they asked and then answer it yourself, and make sure to think before you speak. There's a lot of people in my room that decided that they were just gonna, spit out stuff from without even thinking, and just did not come out right. They could have done better. So I would copy the person that won. So they were very formal with their answers, very structured. I had a feeling that they prepared their answers before. Not like they memorized it, but they were very familiar with their answers. Again, in my opinion, you want to brag as much as possible. I did not have enough time to brag because of the questions I was given. They weren't really I couldn't really brag about my high school accomplishments until the leadership question because of Leadership Academy that I was a part of. But whenever you have the chance, you want to brag. I've always thought that bragging makes you look bad, but in this case, you really have to brag and show off what you did in high school. There's going to be a lot of people in your room that have very strong backgrounds. They've done a lot of things. Don't let that intimidate you. You really have to basically just show the judges who you are, what you've done, because this is the only time you're going to do this, unless the committee looks through your transcript. But highly likely that they're going to take notes about you on a piece of paper based off what you're saying during these interviews. And so, yeah, so these interviews, 3 rounds, know your questions, know your answers to those questions. Like, even if you just come up with a question that you think that someone would ask you during an interview for like a job or something, just make an answer up for that. Maybe have like a list on like a doc or something of just potential answers you have to certain like genres of questions, not just specific questions, but just be prepared. You want to have as much confidence as you can. So the second thing we did was consensus building activity. So what this was they put you in a room, I think it was an RSC, the Writing Student Center. They put you in a room with, again, 10 to 15 people. We were sitting like in a group setting with desks, kind of like a cluster. And what we did here was that, again, there's 3 judges. They gave us a prompt that we as a group had to communicate to solve. And while we were communicating with each other, the judges are looking at you, and they're kind of determining how you are with like other people, how you're communicating, if you're giving valuable input. So for our example, they gave us the prompt to build the perfect dorm room for college students. So the first stage that they wanted us to do was to draw out kind of what the dorm room would look like. And then they wanted us to kind of address the fact that, someone might have a disability, so we have to take into consideration that fact, or just basically how we're going to lay out the dorm room to be more cost efficient, and to incorporate some of the university's technology. So like the keypad, you have an app on your phone to unlock your dorm room, and so we had to incorporate that into our discussion. And then later on, to add another prompt, they added the fact that we have to incorporate people that don't live in the dorm room somehow. And so people started to, give their ideas out. So yeah, that's basically the prompt. Here's my advice for you guys. You have to speak enough to where you're giving really good information out, but not too much, because there were some people in my group that spoke way too much. There was no substance in what they were saying, and it just did not sound like they were contributing as much as some other people were that weren't, talking as much. I mean, it's great to be a leader of this group. It's also good to hear other people talk, because the judges are also looking around and seeing how you are communicating with other people. And it's important to let, obviously, everyone talk. But my number one piece of advice would be to really think about what you're saying, and if what you're saying is applicable to whatever your prompt is. I don't know if it's going to be different or not. Yeah, so again, 3 judges, they're all looking at you. Yeah, just communicate with people, maybe make some friends. This is a great opportunity for you guys to meet some people that you're potentially going to be taking classes with or have similar majors with. What else? After you finish this group activity, you're going to go to one of the buildings and meet with your college, basically. And they're just going to talk to you briefly about, I think, like classes, like majors maybe. I'm not sure, but it was like a brief meeting. You don't have to worry about that. They do some activities with you, uh, like you. It's like an introduction, like an icebreaker activity that you do. So I'm a business student. We went to Woolsey Hall and we stood in a circle and introduced ourselves playing this one game. I forgot what it was, but again, just be ready to introduce yourself. It's kind of like an on-the-spot interview. You want to be prepared. You want to have structure. You want to brag about yourself. And you just want to have some confidence when you speak. Oh, yeah. I'm sure Ms. Kuczynski and Ms. Booth have helped you all to prepare for like a mock interview, I think they might have done with you. And you just play that out in your head the day before, the few days before, and just play out potential conversations you might have with people. If you're nervous at all, this will help greatly. Obviously, eat. Everyone says that. Eat before you get there. You just don't want to, you don't want to feel hungry, have those cold hands that everyone just dreads, or like be fidgety because you haven't had any food in your system. Get some good sleep. I don't usually get great sleep usually, but it's important for you guys to get some good, just feel energetic for this competition. Yeah, and just go out there, go have some fun, go present yourself, go present collegiate and how well they've prepared you guys for this opportunity. And if you do make it into the next round, I'm sure Ms. Kuczynski and Ms. Booth will assist you with that as well. I believe that there's some amount that they give you if you do make it to the semifinal round, but don't make it after that. They do give you some kind of scholarship. But if you don't make it out of this first stage, I believe they don't give you any money. But don't let that deter you from ultimately going to WSU. There are plenty other scholarships that you can apply for. I did not get through to the next round. But I was awarded the Koch scholarship, which is another really big scholarship on campus for the business school. So basically just apply for as many scholarships as you can. Oh yeah, another big thing. There's a lot of people that are competing in this scholarship. There's 2 sessions, at least there was for me. Each of them had around 400 people. So you can probably guess that it's very low chance that a lot of people will make it into the final round, the semifinal round. So again, don't let that deter you if you do for some reason not make it through. Again, go out there, show yourself to everyone that is potentially gonna vote for you or recommend that you go on to the next round. If any of you guys have any questions before, I believe it's the Saturday that you guys have this, if you have any questions, email me. I will email as fast as possible back to you. So my email is going to be goldem2005@gmail.com. That's my home email. And feel free to email me before the competition. You can also call me or text me if you guys want. My phone number is 925-451-5023. That might be faster than the email because I'm on my phone doing stuff every second of the day. So yeah, feel free to text me, call me, ask me for more advice. I might have a few things I might have missed, or maybe you guys have some questions. Again, good luck. It's a fun experience. You'll meet people, and yeah, just go show yourself to the world. And I wish you guys all the best luck and success.